today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I'm going to go out and get right now an Aldabra tortoise, an anaconda, and maybe even a rattlesnake. But is that a good choice to make? We're going to talk about that. Stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me here today. My co-host is none other than Willow, my Woma python. I'm just super happy to be out and about right now to discuss this video topic. So right off the bat, going to clarify, I'm not actually going to get those three things. I'm not actually going out right now to get an Aldabra tortoise. I'm not going to go out right now and get an anaconda, and I'm definitely not going out right now to get a rattlesnake. There are some people out there that may have interest in those, which is totally fine for sure, but are you really truly cut out to own and care for those animals properly? We're going to be talking about those things today in today's video, and kind of going off of the checklist of what makes you qualified potentially to keep some of these animals. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, obviously, any animal that you get is a big commitment for sure. And this list can basically apply for basically any animal that you personally want to get. So basically, this checklist will apply to basically any animal across the board, obviously. But obviously, talking about these animals that are larger commitments for sure. So this video is kind of going to be applying more towards those things, but obviously the checklist applies no matter what to no matter what you are personally keeping as well. So definitely follow along no matter what you personally keep. Don't just think that this video just applies simply if you're getting an Aldabra tortoise or something like that. And who knows, it could just be something good for you to just kind of put in your head for future purchases or anything that you're potentially thinking of getting in the near future, or someone you personally know. And obviously, I'm not going to hit every single point that there is out there, so please, 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 we are all here to help each other out, so please leave some of your personal opinions and comments and suggestions in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate it, and so would other people as well. So the first big thing I would say to go over is, have you done your personal research on the species that you are thinking of getting? Now, doing your research is not just something that you do overnight. It's something that you really have to put the time into. And I think it can take days, weeks, even sometimes months to really, truly feel comfortable. Sometimes even years, you know. There are mentorships out there to get certain licenses to work with certain species. And I think that is definitely a crucial thing for sure, to make sure that you are fully aware of what it entails to take care of an animal. And whether it's through a mentorship, whether it's through just reading, all sorts of different ways, just to make sure that you are fully prepared and committed to taking care of whatever animal it personally is. That's something right off the bat that you want to do. Doing thorough research, making sure that you have all your bases covered beforehand before you even think about pulling out a credit card or some cash to get that animal. And kind of going into that as well too is why you want to personally keep this animal. Why would you want to keep a rattlesnake? Why would you want to keep an Aldabra tortoise or an anaconda or something of that caliber of an animal for sure? Is it just an impulse that you're like, oh man, that's really cool, I saw that online and I'm like, I want to get that too? You know, you saw a pretty picture of an animal and there are some beautiful vipers out there, but that doesn't mean that you should just own a pretty viper. Not everyone is cut out for that for sure. I know personally I could never keep one of those right now. That is just something that is way out of my field for sure, that I do not personally feel comfortable owning and obtaining right now. It's definitely something that you got to know your limits as well too, and know the reasoning behind why you want to keep these animals. If you really have valid reasoning and passion behind what you want to keep, that is utmost importance, because if it's something that's impulsively bought, I guarantee it's something that you're going to be way over your head for one, and also two, it's something that you're going to get sick of and bored of or whatever, and you're going to immediately want to get rid of it. So definitely consider these things beforehand, and you will save yourself a whole lot of trouble in the future if you just avoid getting that impulsively. So be sure to ask yourself that as well, why you want to keep this animal. Next thing that I would go over and assess is, does your current lifestyle allow you to keep this animal properly? Now, that could mean a few different things. So if you have a super busy lifestyle and you are always constantly on the go, you're always constantly traveling, and you need something that's going to require constant maintenance. Say for example, like a large monitor lizard. Those guys will for sure need constant around the clock care and maintenance. You know, they're definitely going to be needing a lot of exercise, they're definitely going to need a lot of food and a lot of cleanup along with them as well too. So thinking about those things before purchasing that animal and seeing if you could take care of it throughout its whole entire adulthood. If you have a long busy schedule and you have no one else that's going to be able to take care of that animal, it's probably not best for you to take care of that animal and take on that animal, just for the sole reason of it's probably going to get neglected, unfortunately, and not going to be socialized, for one, which is going to be a crucial thing for monitors, but also too, you're not going to give it the ample care that it would require as well too. And that goes for many other species too beyond monitor lizards as well. But the other thing with lifestyle is the other people that are involved in your household. Are they on board with this? You don't want to just bring in some sort of animal that's large scale, large in species, large in commitment, and potentially even a danger to the rest of the family if it is, say, a rattlesnake or something like that. You don't just bring that into a household without talking and consulting with everyone as well too. You know, you want to make sure that you are able to take care of these animals for one, but you want to also make sure that you're being conscious for everyone too, and making sure that everyone is fully on board with this and making sure that every safety precaution is taken care of as well too. Now, the other big thing that you want to make sure in terms of your lifestyle is where you're personally living. You also want to make sure that you're checking your local laws as well too, to make sure that you are legally able to keep whatever species it is that you're trying to keep as well too. So making sure that you're also legally able to bring this animal into wherever you're personally living is also how to become a responsible reptile keeper as well too. Another great point out there is, can I afford this animal? There are big, large constrictors out there, and large constrictors create a big mess for sure. And not only that, but something has to cause that mess, and that means a large scale prey item. So being able to, one, afford that prey item, and also being able to locate and have a proper source for that prey item to make sure that you always have a constant source of food for these animals is also an important thing as well too. So making sure that you have the proper means to take care of an animal and its upkeep throughout the course of its life from baby to adulthood is also a very big thing to consider as well too. And piggybacking off of the, can you afford this animal? Do you have the ample amount of real estate to take on this animal throughout its adulthood as well too? Now, that baby Burmese python, that baby anaconda may look super cute, that baby Abracadabra tortoise may look super cute as a baby, but keep in mind, it's just a baby. Even Willow here, she's a mid-sized python, and when I got her, she was just a small little noodle, and she's grown up to be this beautiful, beautiful mid-sized python right here. Even this size is not for everyone. You know, you could be living in an apartment space, you could be living in a small little space or whatever. It just might not be in your cards to keep something like this if you don't have the amount of space required to fulfill through adulthood. And I would say a good amount of people can keep any of these animals when they're babies, but again, they're just babies. So when these guys grow up, in the majority of their life, they're going to be these full-grown adults. Are you able to house these animals properly and give them the ample room that they need? That's something to consider as well too. So really, those are the big main points that I would say that are needed to be considered when you are considering these animals. And if you think everything checks off on those boxes and you still feel gung-ho and ready to take on those animals and those challenges that those animals will require and all the things that are required for those animals, great. That's great for you. I'm super happy for you. Again, these animals are not for everyone, and that's totally okay. I think so many people get wrapped up in this idea that they have to own everything. They have to get all these large scale things to fit in or do something with these animals and create some sort of persona with these animals. That's not the case. You know, we want to make sure that we're representing the reptile community and these animals properly and making sure that we're giving them the utmost care and the proper care that we can to make sure that they don't end up in the wrong hands of people that can't properly care for these animals and something negative happens to these animals. At the end of the day, it's all about the animals, guys, so make sure that we're doing things responsibly. Get it. Things can change in life. Things always change in life, you know. Things come out of left field. All sorts of things can happen, and that's just life. And currently, I am going through this video and I have a snake going up my shirt. Didn't expect that to happen. That's life. Now, things can happen, and what I'm meaning by that is, say something personally happens to you, you are injured, something happens to you, you personally cannot take care of your animals for a temporary amount of time, or maybe permanently you are unable to take care and fulfill all the animal's requirements. Things happen, I get it. But you also should have a backup plan in place, and also a plan in place in case if something happens to the animal personally, like an exotic vet on hand, making sure that you have those plans also in place to make sure that the animal can get the care that it requires, regardless if you can take care of the animal personally, or what are your plans that are going to be in place if you personally cannot take care of the animal itself. So always having those backup plans and also having an exotic vet on standby is also something that's very important and key in terms of keeping these animals. So making sure that you have those plans in place, that is something that's important as well. Even keep in mind, some of these animals like the Aldabra tortoise live a very long time and probably will outlive you. So making sure that you know where this animal is going to go for the lifetime of that animal is also very important as well too. So always considering these types of things is key and very important as well. These are just precautions that can't be ignored, so make sure you don't ignore them as well. There you have it, guys. I just thought this would be a fun little video to make. Obviously, like I said, I am not going out there right now to get a rattlesnake, get an Aldabra tortoise, or get an anaconda right now. There's no chance right now that I'm doing that. I'm totally fine with what I'm keeping. But I know a lot of people out there see these animals, see these pictures, and they're immediately like, oh, I gotta get that. Oh, that's something that I can get. This animal's no problem, without doing the proper research that's required for these things. So I figured, let's make a video about this. And again, I would love some of your guys' feedback as well too. So if you guys have some stuff that I personally have missed down in the comments, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions as well too. So please leave those down below to help each other out. That's what we're all here to do at the end of the day. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today and also providing that feedback. It's greatly appreciated for sure. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Willow and I appreciate it. If you guys could do me a few favors, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Definitely check us out on our social media as well too. I'll be posting updates there as well. We got some fun stuff in the works, so definitely stay tuned. As always, guys, I appreciate you, so thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and until next time, we will see you guys soon. Take care.